program. Let's get cracking. The chairman of the US Senate Commerce Committee is to hold a hearing later this month over massive cyber attacks at some of America's biggest companies. Let's take a look at the details, because earlier this week we've been talking about it. Equifax admitted as many as 145.5 million Americans may have been hit. That's 2.5 million more than previously, well, what we were told. Yahoo, now owned by Verizon, admitted that its 2013 data breach affected all 3 billion of its accounts. And the latest victim, the US fast food chain Sonic, which is in 45 states, it said that hackers may have accessed its customer debit and credit card information. Now, there are fears that Wall Street's top regulator, the Consumer Financial Protection Bureau, which handles, of course, very sensitive information on individuals, their banks and their credit cards and credit card firms, they could be vulnerable to an attack. Okay, let's get rid of the cube. As I said, the Hare's in the house. Dr. Stephanie Hare is Principal Director at Accenture Research and joins us. Stephanie, great to have you with us as always. Can I start on, because it is a mind of the 3 billion at Yahoo is big, but let's talk about the Equifax, 145 plus million. You would think for a credit scoring agency which holds all that sensitive, very important information, that they would have had the ants pants of cyber security. Was that preventable, do you think?
Ooh, was it preventable? That's a really tough question in this case, because of course we always learn after the fact what could have been done differently. But I think we need to resist the temptation to gloat a little bit whenever there's one of these breaches that's revealed, because what's very apparent is this is happening to everyone, right? So this is happening to the National Security Agency. So if even the NSA can't keep their most sensitive cyber arsenal safe and secure, which is what led to so many of the viruses that happened earlier this year, WannaCry, Petya, if they can't do it, what chance does the private sector have? So we're in a new world now. No one is safe.
Is that why you just took the word, that's why you say this is the new Wild West, right? Yeah. Data security is the Wild West, and really no one's safe.
Well, this is it, and it's this whole question of what does a cyber resilient organization even look like, right? So when we
Does anybody know that?
Well, I think it's still up for debate. I think we're really seeing this question now even in the industry. So everybody's got ideas, but getting the metrics to measure it so that C-suites and boards and companies all over the world, regardless of what sector you're in, could even know how are they protecting themselves. Is this good return on investment? Is it effective? Right now, the only metric they have to gauge effectiveness is have we been hacked or not? But in cybersecurity, people say there are two types of companies, those that have been hacked and those that have but don't know it.
Right, there you go. Okay, so does it come down to... Does it need more regulation? Because I'm just wondering if America lags European regulation or vice versa?
The European Union, with the General Data Protection Regulation, the GDPR, which comes into effect next year, that is the gold standard in data protection. So if you're in one of the 28 member states, you can look forward to companies being incentivized to actually look after your data. In the United States, that's not really the case right now. What happens is there's a massive breach, people have to file lawsuits, it takes years, and maybe, if those lawsuits are successful, they'll get some compensation. In Europe, it's going to be different. After the 25th of May in 2018, if a company is found to have leaked your data and not protected it according to law, they could be fined up to 4% of global turnover. Wow. Now, they don't have to be EU headquartered. They just have to be handling data of EU citizens. So all of our friends in Silicon Valley are having to hustle to become compliant with EU law.
So being compliant with EU law, just briefly to wrap this up, I mean, given what you've said, and scaring the bejesus out of all of us, what should companies be doing to try and safeguard it? If, as you say, if the NSA can be hacked, what does little Joe Smith Limited do? Well,
Joe or Jane Smith Limited needs to be looking at things that are not just simply about the technology, that's one piece of it, but there's actually the human component. So we talk a lot about your people are your weakest link. Actually, they could become your strongest. Being cyber resilient is going to be about everybody in your company. This is not just about the Chief Information Security Officer and his or her responsibilities. This is about everyone in the company, from the C-suite and board down to individual employees.
Wow. Okay. Dr. Stephanie Hare, always a pleasure. We appreciate you coming in. Thanks very much. Dr. Stephanie Hare there talking